Hey y'all, welcome to my channel, Divinely Transformed, where healing is freedom and it begins within. And together we break the chains of karma, reclaim our power, and rise into divine sovereignty. Your path to autonomy and freedom starts right here. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, whichever the case may be. I'm so glad you could be here with me today for the final installment of the Dark Feminine Energy series, in which we will be looking at the birth chart of Lady Gaga, who is another very fine representation of the dark feminine archetype within pop culture. Before I get started, I would just like to take a moment to say that my bookings for my readings and birth chart analyses are open. All of my information is in the description box below. Go and check that out if you're interested. So, let me get moving forward with my presentation. Lady Gaga, her real name is Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanata. She was born March 28, 1986, and the time that she was born was 9:53 a.m. That is what is listed on the internet as her birth date and time. So this is the most accurate birth chart that we have for Lady Gaga. Before I get started with talking about the birth chart, I'm just going to talk a little bit about her and why she is a representative of my Dark Feminine Energy series. Lady Gaga is one of the most transformative pop artists in the modern era. Since her rise to fame in the late 2000s, she has used music, fashion, and performance to challenge societal expectations around identity, sexuality, fame, and self-expression. Her work frequently blends theatrical performance, avant-garde fashion, and emotional vulnerability. Throughout her career, Gaga has continually reinvented herself, shifting between dramatic artistic personas while maintaining a strong core message about authenticity and individuality. This process of identity transformation and artistic reinvention reflects the deeper symbolism of the dark feminine archetype. The dark feminine is not about darkness in a negative sense. Instead, it represents the willingness to explore the hidden aspects of identity, confront cultural taboos, and transform vulnerability into creative power. When we examine Lady Gaga's birth chart, we see a powerful combination of placements connected to artistic transformation, emotional depth, and cultural influence. First house is about her identity and presence, and describes how someone presents themselves to the world. Lady Gaga is a Gemini ascendant, which is another way of saying Gemini rising, and she has her palace in Cancer in this house as well. Lady Gaga's Gemini rising gives her a highly adaptable and expressive personality. Gemini ascendants are natural communicators who often experiment with different identities, styles, and forms of expression. This placement explains Gaga's constant reinvention throughout her career. She is able to shift between artistic personas while still maintaining an authentic creative voice. Palace in the first house adds strategic intelligence and artistic awareness. Palace is associated with pattern recognition and creative problem solving. This placement suggests Gaga intuitively understands how to blend art, symbolism, and cultural messaging into her public image. The second house, which is the house of values and self-worth. There are no major planets that appear in this house, but Lady Gaga's values are strongly influenced by her Aries sun and her Scorpio moon. These placements suggest that she values authentic self-expression, emotional truth, and creative independence more than the traditional measures of success. Her career repeatedly demonstrates a willingness to take risks in order to maintain artistically authentic. The third house, the house of communication and expression. My words are not wording. Lady Gaga doesn't have any planets in her third house, but Mercury's placement still strongly influences Gaga's communication style. Lady Gaga has Mercury in Pisces, creates a poetic and emotionally expressive mind. Her songwriting often blends symbolism, emotion, and storytelling. This placement explains why her lyrics frequently explore themes of identity, vulnerability, and emotional transformation. The fourth house represents emotional foundations, emotional roots, and early life influences. She has her Ceres in Virgo and her Imam Quelli in Virgo. Virgo placements here suggest that Gaga's early environment emphasized discipline, work ethic, and attention to detail. Ceres in Virgo reflects a nurturing style based on care, dedication, and improvement. This placement often produces individuals who lean to transform personal challenges into growth. It may also contribute to Gaga's strong connection with her fan community, whom she often treats with empathy and support. The fifth house is the house of creativity and self-expression. Also governs artistic expression, performance. She has a nice little Scorpio stellium in her fifth house, her moon in Scorpio, Pluto in Scorpio, South Node in Scorpio, and Vertex in Scorpio. This is one of the most powerful areas of Lady Gaga's chart. With the moon and Pluto together in Scorpio, creates extraordinary emotional intensity within her creative work. The moon represents emotional experience, while Pluto represents transformation and psychological depth. When these planets combine, artistic expression often becomes a vehicle for confronting powerful emotions. The South Node in Scorpio suggests a natural familiarity with intense emotional experiences and themes of transformation. These placements explain why Gaga's performances often explore themes of identity, vulnerability, desire, and emotional rebirth. This Scorpio emphasis in the house of performance is one of the strongest signatures of the dark feminine artist archetype. Lady Gaga also has a nice little Sagittarius stellium in the sixth house of work and discipline and daily effort. She has Saturn in Sagittarius, Uranus in Sagittarius, Juno in Sagittarius, and White Moon Selena in Sagittarius. Saturn here reflects intense discipline and dedication to mastering her craft. Artists with Saturn in the sixth house often achieve success through persistent hard work. She's definitely done that. Uranus introduces innovation and experimentation into her work environment, encouraging her to constantly push creative boundaries. Juno in Sagittarius is the partner contract. And White Moon Selena is all about how she heals people through her work. This combination of Saturn and Uranus reflects Gaga's ability to balance discipline with artistic experimentation. In her seventh house, it's the seventh house of partnerships and collaborations. She has Mars in Capricorn and Neptune in Capricorn in the seventh house. Mars in Capricorn indicates strategic and ambitious partnerships. Gaga often works with collaborators who share a strong professional vision. Neptune adds an artistic and imaginative dimension to partnerships. This placement suggests that creative collaboration plays an important role in her career. The 8th house is the house of transformation, psychological depth, shared emotional experiences, and psychological exploration. Her part of fortune in Aquarius is in the 8th house. When the part of fortune is in the 8th house, it suggests that Gaga's success is connected to her willingness to explore emotional vulnerability and deeper psychological themes. Her music often resonates with audiences because it addresses shared human experiences of struggle, healing, and identity. 9th house is the house of spiritual exploration, philosophy, and higher learning. She has her Vesta in Pisces in the 9th house. Vesta represents devotion and sacred focus. When it's in Pisces, this placement suggests a spiritual connection to art and creativity. For Gaga, artistic expression may function as a form of spiritual practice and emotional healing. In the 10th house, she's got a cute little Pisces stellium in the house of her career, public legacy, reputation, and public influence. Her Mercury in Pisces is in retrograde in this house, Jupiter in Pisces, and her midheaven is in Pisces. The 10th house governs career, reputation, public influence, as I said. The Pisces midheaven suggests a career connected to imagination, art, and emotional storytelling. Mercury in Pisces supports poetic communication and creative songwriting. Jupiter expands this influence, allowing her artistic expression to reach global audiences. Together, these placements indicate a public career that inspires others through empathy, creativity, and emotional connection. The 11th house, it is the house of community and cultural influence and collective movements. She has a nice little stellium in here as well. She's got her Sun in Aries, Venus in Aries, North Node in Taurus, and Pholus in Taurus. Lady Gaga's Aries Sun indicates leadership within societal and cultural communities. Her work often encourages people to embrace individuality and reject social conformity. Venus in Aries adds boldness and independence to her artistic style. The North Node in Taurus suggests that her soul path involves creating stability, beauty, and empowerment for collective communities. Pholus in Taurus is about how one small thing can become bigger, which is her message and the work and the influence that she has. Her message of self-acceptance and empowerment aligns strongly with these placements. In the 12th house, which is the house of the subconscious, hidden dimensions, psychological layers, and unconscious patterns, she has her Black Moon Lilith in Gemini and her Chiron in Gemini in the 12th house. When Black Moon Lilith is in the 12th house, it represents confronting hidden truths and challenging societal narratives. Tracks. Definitely tracks. Chiron suggests wounds connected to communication or self-expression that ultimately become sources of healing. That tracks as well. Gaga's openness about mental health and trauma reflects this placement. By speaking openly about vulnerability, she helps others feel seen and understood. Just to summarize, the key placements that explain Lady Gaga. The most powerful signature in Lady Gaga's chart is the Scorpio concentration in the house of creativity. The moon in Scorpio, Pluto in Scorpio, South Node in Scorpio, and Vertex in Scorpio. This cluster creates an artist whose creative expression explores emotional intensity, transformation, and psychological depth. Rather than avoiding difficult emotions, Gaga channels them into music and performance. This is one of the clearest astrological indicators of an artist who performs personal shadow into cultural art. Lady Gaga's birth chart reveals an artist whose work revolves around transformation. Her Gemini rising allows her to experiment with identity and expression, while her Scorpio placements bring emotional depth and psychological intensity to her creative work. Her Pisces midheaven connects her career to artistic imagination and emotional storytelling, while her Aries sun drives her to lead cultural change. Rather than simply performing music, Gaga transforms pop culture into a platform for exploring identity, vulnerability, and empowerment. In this way, she embodies a modern expression of the dark feminine archetype, the artist who transforms personal shadow into creative power and invites others to embrace their authentic selves. Geez Louise, is this a Mercury retrograde or what? Because my words were not wording today. I did my best though. So that is what I have for y'all. What'd y'all think of it? Definitely is a very accurate description of who she is and what she's done for the world, because she's got a worldwide audience. If this resonated with you, if you learned something from it, if you liked it, please hit the like button, as it really helps my channel out tremendously, and I do very much appreciate it. If you'd like to drop a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thank you all for supporting me on all my platforms and all the ways that y'all do. And I'll talk to y'all soon.